Call of Dragons is not just a game, it's a battlefield of strategy, planning, and execution. Just like in business, if you want to dominate, you need smart game plan. Let me show you how the smart players are winning. Ever wonder why some players grow way more faster from others? It's just because they have a power growth strategy like a CEO. In business, every move is calculated, and it's same like here, you need a clear plan. You can max off your troops, your buildings, your researches eventually, but you have to be extremely picky with your hero strategy. You definitely have to not invest in every hero that you think you may use or may not use, only pick the one that you're actually needing. Now, if you want me to make a separate video about, marksmans, mages, cavalry, or infantry, just write it in the comments below. But currently, me as a mage main player, I didn't invest that much in the Lilia the first like 4 seasons. But later, when I start opening the tier 5, I decide, okay, we're going to have Teatri in the bundle. Why not actually getting the Lilia? And this is the moment when I actually awake my Lilia, and from there, I see the true power of this hero. But this is not only this hero. You have to have a strategy. At one point, you're going to finish buildings. You're going to finish researches. It's going to be only heroes, troops, and artifacts, and pets. This is it. Your growing strategy at one point from your castle development is going to finish. So you have to be extremely picky with the heroes, because even when you finish, you may not have resources for the most important thing in this game. This is basically heroes. And speaking about the heroes, picking random skill is like investing in failing stocks. Here, how you can actually build value. And this is Hero Upgrade Guide Smart Skill Progression. What I mean by that is, every hero, the first spell is going to be the most important. That is obvious. I think everybody, you know it, I know it, everybody know it. The rage skill is something that should be at level 5 before you even think to continue with the rest of the skills. But here is the thing, you have to compare the second spell. Is this spell going to be valuable? Okay, let me give Lilia a second example, because I think she is pretty good example. So the first one, obviously, you have to 5-time level up. Then you check the second one, and this is how I do it, just sharing my personal opinion over the heroes and how I go for the heroes. Is peacekeeping damage bonus. Well, I don't care about peacekeeping. I don't think somebody in Call of Dragons actually care about peacekeeping, tower trees, or peacekeeping in general. The mobs outside is not that hard. So obviously, I don't need Dazzling Inferno, basically increasing the peacekeeping. But then you check the next spell. This is more like how much stars is going to be good to actually invest in one hero. The next one is Legion Magic Attack, gets 20% magic attack and 10% HP. This is, general boost over the troop, just showing you step by step how I'm doing that. And finally, we have this one that I think is extremely important. When Legion launches a normal attack, there is 30% chance to scorch up to 2 surrounding enemy legions if the target legion is scorched. So basically, when the Lilia fire up the spell, she has 50% chance to apply Scorch on the target. And if there is a Scorch, she apply the Scorch, and you hit this target, this thing can actually spread. So this is maybe the second biggest win from the spells from the Lilia. So what you can actually do in situation like this, you have your level 5 this skill, you have to pass on this one, but if you open the next 2 only, you have 50% chance to actually hit this one. And we're not looking to hit this one. So I'm going to level up and make the Lilia like 5-1-1-1, and from there I'm going to try to level up the skills. Like this, I'm going to have like 33% chance to hit this Dazzling Inferno, that we don't care about this. And 66% to hit one of the spells that I'm currently interested in. So this is a small example how I reduce the chances of picking the skill that I really don't like. Now, if the second spell is a very good one, you can just open 1 star and build it to level 5 and continue with the rest of the skills if you want to continue with the skills. And I can actually give an example, Tara. Tara is also a very good example for situation like this, rage skill obviously, but the second skill is maybe the main power of the Tara. It's not even the rage skill. This is extremely rare case, just to mention that. But if you have Tara like a support legion, you're going to get attack bonus for the legion and for surrounding legions, basically all of your legions with 2 words. and damage taken reduction 10%. So I'm going to level up this one. I'm going to open just the next one. This is in situation, this is an epic hero. You can easily level up and awake this hero. But if this is a legendary hero, I'm going to level up the second one, and I'm going to decide is the rest of the skills actually deserve my attention. So this is the way I proceed with hero upgrades. And this is going to guarantee at least you're not going to waste that much. I mean, you're going to waste some gold medals, not gold medals, gold tokens, but still, you're going to have the best chances to get a hero that you get the best skills from this hero, level it up. And of course, if you like the video, if you want more guides that actually make you better, don't forget to drop a comment if you already follow these tactics. Now I want to talk about something extremely important, and this is what if your hero talent tree is holding you back more than you're thinking. And I'm talking about master hero talent builds and boost efficiently. Now I obviously talk about hero synchronization between the marches in my previous videos. If you didn't check them out, you can check it out. But yeah, hero synchronization is one of the things about the hero talents. The other thing is knowing the troop and what this troop actually is needing. For example, mages, they have lowest HP in the game, they have a very low attack, one of the lowest attacks, so obviously the power of the mages is going to come from the rage skills, rage skill execution. So you want to get more points of rage skill, you want to get more points of rage regeneration, so you're going to be able to fire up more rage skills, and all these stuffs that is going to boost your legion generally. And here I'm going to give you one tip. For example, you're playing, you have some PvP. You see some people are having very decent reports, and you can ask these players, because this is going to be for all kind of legions present in Call of Giants. Now I can give you an example for Lilia Thea, Lilia Velin, Bertrand, Doher, all these things also for infantry. But if you see somebody, this is a very good tip and my personal strategy from time to time. You see somebody is having very decent report, you go out with your Lilia Velin, you make 30k, and somebody posts in the chat something like 70 or 80k merits reports. You can just ask this person what kind of talents and how he's synchronized his legions. Just get more second opinions over the talent trees. It's extremely important. And also ask him to give you his talent tree. Most of the times it strongly depends how the player is playing with his heroes, because here's the thing, yeah, you're going to see somebody's making crazy amount of merits with the one specific legion. You check it out the legion and you see even your legion is better from his, and the talent tree is same, but he's doing more merits. So you can ask him about positioning and stuff like this in the wars, but in general gather more information from rest of the people around you that are performing extremely well on the battlefield. And why to train troops blindly when you can basically outsmart stronger players. Here I'm talking about hero training efficiency, how to beat the hard tiers. And if you're not tier 5, this is your direction. Build until your buildings, build until then, build to beat your current tier. And this is more about the researches and how to focus. I said it in one or two of my videos before, but I see more and more questions again in this direction, and what I mean by that is focus over economy talent tree and then focus over the military talent tree. Get the scholarship to level 10 and get this 15% more researches, and of course the scholarship 1 is going to be 10, it's total like 25% before you go and start pushing for the military tree, because economy talent tree is cheap and easy. What I mean by that is not much time to actually do the researches here, and it don't cost that much resources. But military talent tree, this is something way more different. Here you can go up to 94 days. For example, for defense formation is 94 days to go from level 9 to level 10. So this is a small tip I can give you about the researches and how to actually go for economy or military talent tree later, when you're going to get blocked at level 7 at the assault strategies, and you have to max basically the whole economy talent tree. So yeah, get some economy talent tree and continue with the military talent tree. And your city tells your story. Are you built for war or just for decoration? And this is the city building strategy, build what actually matter. and mostly is what kind of buildings to prioritize. Now, we're not talking about your first 1-2 weeks in the game. We're not talking about your first 2 months in the game or after your first season. Definitely at the beginning, at the season 1, you have to just focus to grow faster over specific buildings like Half Order. But later, when you start touching the PvP, when your leg sit on the battlefield, there you have to focus over other specific buildings. So the priority there is something like your first 2 seasons is going to be, of course, Alliance Center. I think this is from the day 1 you have to focus over this building, getting this Alliance Center. So the helps is reducing the time. Sometimes it can reduce the time by 1 day, which is very big one. And of course, College of Order, you have to keep in shape in the same level like your Half Order. But when the PvP starts, I think the main priority should be the hospitals. The higher level the hospitals are, the more healing you're going to have and the more fun you're going to have in general on the battlefield. If you finish your troop at the day 1 or the first 2-3 hours, well, basically you're not going to have that much fun because you have to teleport in the zone 1 since you cannot help your alliance and alliance cannot actually help you, so you're basically out of the fight. And yeah, the hospital at least is going to give you consistent daily free healing. Not quite sure this is actually affecting about the resource spending. It's going to increase, you know, how many resource healing you can actually have. But, you know, the resource healing is like 2.2 million troops. This is huge amount of troops. And currently I'm not even in KVK where this thing can actually get increased by a lot. Something like 6, 7, 8 million with the resource healing. This is crazy number and this is per day. So resource healing is not going to be the issue. The issue is going to be your free healing, so you definitely want to have in shape of your 4 hospitals. Because when I started playing this game, I was like, okay, I need Half Order. What I have to do for Half Order next level? I need WoW. Okay, what the WoW is needing? WoW is needing Hospital next level. Hospital is needing Foundry. So that was the thing that I was going over and over, and one of the hospitals was something like level 17, rest of the hospitals was level 5, and I definitely struggle on the battlefield from point of free healing. At the beginning of the game we didn't have Elixir. This is an update that comes later in the game, but you know, people are adapting, and yeah, hospitals is something extremely important with these 2 buildings after your first season and a half, maybe 2. And don't forget to comment your favorite tip so far, or share what building you maxed first and why. Now this thing, a lot of people will not agree with me, but stay with me. Free-to-play players can still dominate it if you're like Tactician. And I'm talking about free-to-play optimization, Outsmart the system. So what I mean by that is, you know, you have to have a strategy on the battlefield basically everywhere, and I think a lot of people know some free-to-play player who is having decent stats from points of merits, have decent progression on the castle, and is basically looking like a mid-spender. So this type of free-to-play players, definitely you can get a lot of value from their advices. I can just share from my point of view when I was having some moments as a free-to-play player. And this is the first thing, is on the battlefield you're going to get crushed. On the battlefield you're going to get crushed, so you have to somehow play smart. So you can be, okay Burgers, but what does smart playing supposed to mean? And you have a battle like this one. Just maybe for the example I can actually give this one where there is some fights. Now if you see a behemoth, well, most likely you don't want to go there, you know, in this circle. I think people should stay out from this circle. Maybe just I can actually zoom out a little. So yeah, this is the circle of the behemoth. You basically have to stay out. Everything that the behemoth is doing as a damage to you is having 0 value for you, and is having huge value for the enemy. What I mean by that is the behemoth is putting troops in hospital. You don't get merits from counterattack or anything, and they basically spend something that have like 8-hour cooldown and fill your hospital. So I think it's a good idea as a free-to-play player to stay out. Also, you can be, for example, here we have an infantry. They're pushing on this side. You can be this guy here who is hitting the infantry? Those guys here is trying to hit the mages. It's extremely important to stay a little behind if you're not having that many troops. And like this, you're going to just kill the infantry. That's all, just kill the infantry. The other good tip I can actually give you is not only for the PvP, but you know, the first one was for PvP. It's also for the city skin. I know free-to-play players that get city skins, legendary city skins. So it's not something impossible. You just need to have a strategy in your head how you can actually get city skin. Oh, this is Hex, by the way. You just have to get the best value from your troops. Since you don't have that many, you're not well or something like this, you have to play extremely smart. Now this one apply all kind of heroes. Maybe exception is Krakens that can basically throw, spend every day, but want to win event, timing is everything. Event rewards maximization, spend smart. This is the other topic I want to cover. Now, most of you, if you watch my channel, definitely know that I'm currently looking to get my city skin, mage city skin. I'm preparing for this one. But I think this is a very clever strategy in long term, just, you know, to prepare what is coming in the game and have an idea for the future. But this is not only for the city skins, it's basically everything that align with your future plans. It can be also strongest sword. Imagine you're a free-to-play player and you're a marksman main. Okay, it's a little hard, but imagine you're a marksman main. You want to get this Margaret Zeta, still one of the best rage legions presenting Call of Dragons. So, you have Zeta, that is from the Wookiee spin, but what you going to do with Margaret? For Margaret, you have to buy bundles. But in same time, you can actually go in the strongest sword and select Margaret. Okay, currently we don't have Margaret from these heroes here presenting the strongest sword, but in general you can go even for strongest sword, especially if you're not that competitive KVK. You can just save some resources and go for strongest sword and get decent amount of these tokens. Now we don't have that many competitive events, but there is also Tournament of the Champion. Be extremely consistent there, make some changes in your strategy just to get a better result. And every place you're performing better, the things compile. And at the end of the day, you're going to outperform somebody, let's say with 20%. But this thing compile over time. So imagine how much you're going to outperform specific player after like 3 months, after 6 months. Just going to be on the top of the food chain. And don't forget to subscribe for more strategy content like this. You don't want to miss what is next. And here I'm going to give one small tips, and this is no resources, no progress. Here's how to stay rich and ready. Resource farming strategy, building your economy. Now this is going to be a small tip. Of course, most of the people know with their main account you go for the mana pot pools, and with your farm account you can actually go and farm the rest of the resources. But here's the thing, you can also, I think, sell those things and make some extra gems. And you can go in the sell tab, you click resources, and here you can see what you can buy from some players. Or you can decide to sell. And if you have farms, imagine if I sell 15 millions and 15 million mana. The more farms you have, the more gems you're going to generate just by selling these resources. And boy oh boy, especially for the mana, I think you're going to find a lot of buyers there. But before you actually be able to do that, you definitely have to have your farms, you have to have your main accounts, you have to have everything set it up. I have videos on my channel about the gathering and how to proceed with the gathering to get in best shape, even be able to sell some resources and get more gems like this. 2.7k is a pretty decent amount. It's only weekly, but still, even weekly 2.7 is a good thing. And if you farm like 1k gems, which I don't think farming gems is something that you should go for, but still, you can get in great shape and also get gems like this. And don't forget, you can become a member for early access to my new videos and full stream history. Join the inner circles of smart players. And one thing very important, and this is speedups are your secret weapon. Don't waste them. Speed up efficiency, use them with strategy. You basically, your currency to compete somewhere or to do whatever, some kind of boost, some kind of competition, is actually the speedups. The more speedups, the more currency you're having to participate and achieve greatness in this type of events, or just at least to rank on the top places. So you have to be extremely careful with your speedups and how you spend them. I think this is something that most of the players actually know, that you have to be careful with your speedups, okay? But I think we spend some speedups here and there that we should actually not. Even from time to time, I'm guilty, but yeah, having a plan for the future. In general, this isn't just a game. It's basically a strategic war zone. It's a kingdom building game. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're serious about leveling up in this game. And if you want exclusive content, early access, full stream history, hit that join button and become a member today. So this is going to be the video for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and yeah, see you in the next video.